So, I have planned to go out this afternoon and do a bit of shopping or at least browsing around, but considering that it is currently raining out there and not sure if it's gonna stop before Keith comes home. Also, it's still a little bit on the chilly side. So, I decided what better opportunity than to play some more of the Scarlet Hollow. Oh, also, I was thinking of doing this game next. I'm currently playing this game and it's so much fun. It is technically like a visual novel, but it's very much it's kind of like Scarlet Hollow in that it's very choices you make matter. And so it's really good. So we might play that one next. But in the meantime, we're gonna start up Scarlet Hollow here. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are hanging in there even with all the blarp going on over there with the new president. Like, I don't normally get political on this channel, but it's my opinion that he's probably gonna get thrown out of office. That's what I think anyway. Okay, here we are. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? Now we can go to the cops, we can check out the diner, we can go to the mines, check out the church. I'm gonna go to the cops only because it brings up something kind of interesting. We should go to the cops, right? Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble? As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper. And the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Beau standing between you and the officer behind the desk. Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Deputy Franklin, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her is the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to our family. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, young man. Any property disputes will have to wait, if indeed there is a dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal that took your vegetable? Sir, you know Mr. Tremaine thinks that land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, you might be all the way to the state fair by now with their pumpkin. Ain't there something you can do about it? What the hell happened to your face? Good to see you too, Deputy Franklin. Ain't polite to comment on appearances like that, sir. Ghosts turned me old. What are you talking about? I've always looked like this. I don't want to talk about. I have a condition. I freed the library from a wrathful spirit at great cost to myself. Remain silent. I kind of want to see what happens if we say this. Ghost or mule. Ghost? Where'd you find a ghost? Don't worry about it, Bo. Beth took care of things. Oh, sure, I get it. Deputy Franklin's a lone man in the dust, so the whole town decides to mess with him. Also, this is different. This picture is different because usually it's not just Deputy Franklin. It's, oh gosh, I can't think of the old guy's name, but we met him night one. He was the one who wanted Gretchen to sit with him so he could pet her. But he's missing. He's normally like right there, but he's missing. I don't know what would affect that. I may have to look that up. Ghosts aren't real, kid. Isn't that right, Miss Forsyth? And I think this is Miss Forsyth. Kanika's eyes dart to the floor. You too? Aren't you supposed to be the town skeptic? Do you have a better explanation for what happened to Beth? Deputy Franklin pulls down his sunglasses and intensely says your newfound wrinkles and the streaks of white in your hair. No, I do not. Great, because believe me, I wouldn't be running around telling people we saw a ghost if I thought that it could have been literally anything else. Hey, I remember you from yesterday. You're the mayor's security guy. Does this town have 3? Yeah. I'm gonna ask that. Does this town have 3 cops? Where are the other 2 at? Haven't you heard? There's a nasty strike going on at the mines. Miss Scarlet... Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. 'Cause usually we come here and it's... Oh, I wonder if it's because we waited. 'Cause usually I go to the cops right after exploring Stella's house. So I wonder if they left in between. There's a nasty strike going on at the mines. Miss Scarlet's asked us to try and bring the temperature down a bit. Or, because I know Tabby Games is working on this game, I wonder if they added this. And I drew the short straw for being stuck on desk duty. Bring the temperature down? I'm sorry, are Jill and Ennis... Wow, I said that wrong. Are Earl and Dennis working for the town, or are they working for Tabitha? I'd rather not get into it right now, Miss Forsyth. Now, is there something I can help you with, or did you just come into the station to chit-chat? Now, we can still ask him that. I might do this. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. A missing person? Apologies, Mr. Calloway, but I'm going to have to handle this first. Deputy Franklin pulls out a few forms from the front desk and holds them out. If one of you could fill these out, please? I can take care of that. Thanks you so much for taking this seriously, Mike. I know Stella has a tendency to go on hiking trips, but this feels different. She can't be in her right mind going back out into them woods after what happened to my daddy. Are you sure you can't start looking like right now she shouldn't be off on her own when there are so many ditchlings around? Thanks for taking this seriously. I'm gonna keep that. Yeah. I take everything seriously. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? Bo, didn't you manage to find your dad? Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears running in his eyes, but he blinks them away. Yeah, I found him. I gathered what there was to gather. We're giving him proper burial in the family plot. It's been tough going, trying to dig the hole while the farm is crawling with those hairless things, but it needs to get done. Do you think they'll go back to where they came from soon? Mama and me have tried to find them back as best we can, but it seems like there's more every minute. Personally doing everything I can to leave once found disaster. So, and I know I mentioned this last time, but, ditchlings are supposed to, I don't know why I'm using air quotes. You guys can't see me. But, ditchlings are supposed to foretell disaster. We've already had one man die. The mine collapse. And then the haunting. So, I almost wonder, and this is going to tie in with one of my theories, I almost wonder if there's one big disaster coming. I know about as much as you. I'm sure to leave soon, but Sybil says they don't hurt people. Kinda like them. Halloween's in just a few days. I think I want to do this one. I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing. I'll do my part to help. I'll kick in as many nasty little faces as I can, but I don't know how many I can send scampering off. Seems like there's no end to those critters. Let's do this one. What's all this about Pumpkin? Julius Tremaines. And remember, if you remember back in part 1 when we first entered the diner, Julius was sitting in the diner. Julius Tremaine stole Big Betty, and I'm trying to get the police to talk to him. And I've been telling Mr. Calloway that there's no way to prove who the vegetable in question belonged to. If there's no documentation, it's your word against his. The Calloways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. Some feud from over a century ago split the families, and they've been at it ever since. I'm gonna ask this one. What makes you think Julius stole it? He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's never been good about the property line, same as every Tremaine that came before him. We get our fair share of calls from Mr. Tremaine as well. Not that I'm at liberty to discuss confidential police information. I was hoping we'd get a reprieve from his nonsense after what happened to Daddy, but it don't look like he's willing to give us any time to grieve. And this is Avery. Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. Why is this pumpkin so valuable? She was gonna get us blue ribbon. Daddy said she was near 2,000 pounds. We were supposed to be at the Safe Air by now, but it does look like that's gonna happen this year. And Mr. Tremaine ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he done. Just holed up like the coward he is. Or he's not home. Or he's, met with an unfortunate accident. At the very least, he could give me back some seeds from what's left of her. so I can try again next year. She was an important pumpkin to our family. You know, I haven't seen him since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. So he's missing, and he won't come to the door. So my guess is either can't answer, like he's home but can't answer, or he's not home. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If he ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? And that's another very good question. Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. I kind of want to ask this. How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I mean, that makes sense, because you couldn't just go up to it, and lift it up in your arms, unless you're like the Hulk or something. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It could have easily been a bear or a mountain lion, any large animal, except for one question. Why would any of those animals want a pumpkin? We're no bear. We're hunting folk. We know the science. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you? If you're related to Julius, why can't you just put your differences aside and get along? Someone's got to be his bigger man. I don't think Bo's... I'm going to ask this. I don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? Beth is right. I ain't asking for much. You know, Mike, it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors getting angry at each other. Property's been stolen. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once, after everything he's been through? This isn't the first time there's been a theft between the Callaways and Tremaines. We've heard it all. We know exactly how it'll play out. Trust the police to do the policing, ma'am. Ooh, I could say that. Or you're ice cold to please, Franklin. This is his prize. What would... Ooh. Oh, I kind of want to ask this. What would it take for the cops to get involved? Why? Are you looking to escalate the situation? None of us are planning on doing any escalating. We're just asking questions. Good. Let's keep it that way. I promise I won't do nothing bad, Mr. Deputy, sir. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Bandy, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Look, kid, I'd love to help, but the sheriff has a standing order to not set foot on the Tremaine homestead. The man loves his booby traps. That's never stopped me. Avery's gone on his land. Okay, that's helpful information, actually. I don't make the rules. You'll have to take over Sheriff Hugby. That's the other one's name. That's the old guy's name. If I may, sir, ain't that a mite bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. This is about courage, Mr. Calloway. This is about public safety. And it's about the sheriff's judgment and authority outweighing my own. Excuse me. Look, I've been to Julius since 100 times. I can take along, make sure nobody gets hurt. Look, I'll pass along when he gets back, but he has his hands full right now. I can't make any promises. Should we ask about the cult thing? I'm not gonna ask about the cult. It looks like you're busy. We'll be on our way. Tanika hands a complete report back to Deputy Franklin. Thank you, ma'am. I'll get this filed right away. Good luck out there. I hope Mitch Richmond is alright and y'all find her soon. Thanks again for taking this seriously, Deputy. Just doing my job. Well, at least we filed a report. Still, I guess finding Stella's going to be mostly up to us. We got to find out what's been going on with Julius, too. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with ditchlings. I just hope he's okay. One problem at a time. Yeah, where to next? Before you can suggest your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form at the edges of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable. Your body is sending you clear signals of exhaustion. And then it passes. Still, it probably won't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should plan your next move wisely. We could do the diner, we could do the mines, we could check out the church. I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. I'm gonna do the diner just because we're close. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Whitney doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. And there's all the miners, or a lot of them anyway. The diner is busier than you've ever seen it. The small booth's packed with miners. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines. They made the diner their base of operations. Huh, good for them. It's about time something like this happened. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing. I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize. And I can't say I have. I've been a little preoccupied. This is great for business. These fellows can have as much free coffee as they can drink if they keep piling in like this. Do you need any help? Nope. Sal and I can handle this. One of your friends going missing is more important than the busy ship. The miners didn't even notice you entered the diner, and instead of speaking in hushed tones, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. I guess the shift schedules are pretty brutal, and I'd like more vacation days. I'd love to be able to see my family around the holidays, and better health benefits would be amazing, but what if she decides to fire all of us? You're only a year or two into the work, and trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you figure you can weather it until you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck, and I have been there. Next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can never save enough to get the hell out. But we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. I can't get fired, and the company housing, that makes a big difference for me. Right, the company housing. How generous of Tabitha to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had maintenance done in decades, taking a big chunk right out of your paycheck that sure as shit ain't going toward property tax and upkeep alone. The company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. We have numbers on our side, Harrison. After what happened up there the other night, damn near everyone is joining the picket line. She can't afford to lose us all. We have the power here, so long as we're united. I love this. Are none of you going to comment on how I'm old now? I'm gonna jump in. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn toward the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? No, we ain't seen her. As you can see, we've got a lot going on today. We'd appreciate it if you didn't butt in. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Now, here's the problem. Because if we support the strike, I don't know if that affects our relationship with Tabitha. But if we don't support the strike, then all these people are mad. That is. Plus, Kanika is clearly pro-union, which is awesome. But, I'm going to weigh in on Harrison. Ooh, I kind of want to do this one. What do you want to do, Harrison? I don't know. This ain't your business, and those sorts of questions are exactly what someone trying to break a strike would be asking. Come on now, I don't think Beth was trying to break your strike. And how would you know that? This person's a stranger in the Scarlet. Hold your horses there, Zax. I don't care if y'all stand for a good cause. I don't even care how much bacon and eggs you bought. If you certify my establishment, you're out. Let's handle this like civil adults. You heard the lady. Don't get involved or I'll have to take this. You're gonna beat up an old person now. Sorry, fellas, we won't bother you. We'll make ourselves scarce. I kind of want to do this one. So, about the strike. You really think we're going to talk to you, kid, after what you just tried to pull with Harrison? We're not fools, and we're not about to talk shop with a strikebreaker. I want to do this one. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. Like hell you do. Let's just back off. We're here to find Stella, not hassle Tabitha's overworked employees. I guess we should get going. You turn and leave the diner, Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Uh-oh. As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again, but this time it persists. The weakness in your knees return, your ears feel with static, and you can feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. It seems the toll of the pact you made is finally catching up to you. With you. Whoa, you don't look too good. Your body crumples to the ground. Oh shit, the general store is just around the corner. Let's get you inside. The bells of the general store jingle welcomely as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must be voices. and you fade out once again. You come to, see it in the tea room. Kanika and Avery nowhere to be seen. Sybil sits across from you, concern in her eyes as she watches you regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains, weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. Welcome back! It's just the two of us now, I'm afraid. Avery had to go help out the diner, and Kanika has gained some much-needed bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help a bit with your condition. Your eyes drift down to the cup of freshly brewed tea in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with undertones of decaying earth. Don't expect it to change your gray hairs back, but at the very least it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully you'll be a little less exhausted and a little less prone to passing out. When you're finished, we can use the leaves for reading, on the house, of course. Until then, why don't we just chat? So, we can sip our tea. Ooh. And here's the thing: if we use the trade street smart, we can dump the tea, and that's important for later. But as of right now, I'm just gonna sip the tea. Take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing, medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. So, how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. I also really like her two mortar pencils in the background. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her in their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially their twins. She didn't survive the labor. I want to ask this. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think that there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I kind of want to ask this one. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edward Dean took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who had ended it, what with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what happened to her mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's words had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. I want to do this one. What's the mystery ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. Finish the tea. You close your eyes and take another sip and another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it. Oh, and also, there's another trait called mystical, and if you have that trait, you can look in your cup and see that, according to you, the tea leaves don't say anything, which is interesting. The tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empties, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Sybil was lying when she said it would help your condition. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired and a little mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea. I do not know how to say this word. Palatable? It's enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchling. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. Now, you can say, oh, it's the actual cat. The cat could be Tabitha, the cat could be Wayne, cat could be, so you could... Sorry. Oh, so sorry. Have a bit of a cough. I kind of want to do this one. The cat could be Wayne. He follows me wherever I go. It's almost like he's literally lurking in plain sight. That may be the case, but tea leaves lead more into the symbolic side of things. I personally have a hard time believing that Wayne is a cat. You shouldn't trust a word out of that man's mouth. But the cat implies a certain level of two-facedness that I don't think he possesses. You don't have to figure out the answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones carving seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on your adversary. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought more questions and given any clear answers. I'm gonna do this one. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its door strangely flatten in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Miles! Should I talk to Miles? So, Kanika has a cold, huh? That's what she says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like I didn't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. I like this one. Says the guy in Goku pants. Everyone knows Dragon Ball is good anime. She watches the trashy shit. I'm gonna ask him this. What? You see any weird rocks around town? Yeah, you. Can He smirks. Clearly, this is a very sick bird, and you should feel bested by its wit. Is your mom a witch? Wouldn't you like to know? Ooh, I like that one. Can I trust her? Duh. My mom is like the nicest lady ever. Ghosts are real, just like you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. And I'm gonna check in on Kanika. You're not going in anywhere before check in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Can we come in? I was hoping we'd spend a little more time together. I need to talk to you. It's important. I could use a breather. Let's hang out for a minute. Oh, hey! Sorry, Beth. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. It looks like you're on your own. You make your way out the general store and down the road to the clinic. Make your way up the familiar hill, past rows of ragged houses and make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. And this is where we're going to stop for today. Just because this scenario, the clinic area, is going to take quite a bit of time. So I will save here. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, it's interesting to see how things are changing. And again, I don't know how much of that is changing because the developers are going in on the game and changing things around, adding stuff. But that part with just Deputy Franklin was definitely different because at first it's only one police officer that's missing, the one we didn't see on night 1. So they must have changed that, I'm guessing. But yeah, so anyway, we'll leave it there and then we'll pick back up and we'll start the clinic part of the game. Because once we get done with that, it will be the end of the game for right now until Chapter 5 comes out. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next or what I'm gonna upload next, but, put any questions you guys might have into the comments and I'll try to answer them to the best I can. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.